Haha. Right, so I'm back. Why did I clap? Right, so we're back in the studio now. It wasn't a, I wouldn't really call it a successful venture going out to take these photos. It was fine. I did get some photos. I didn't get out of the car anywhere near as much as I thought I would. I really thought that it was going to be drizzly and I'd wear a coat and I'd cover the camera and I'd go out, and as I did in the beginning with the boats, as you saw. But I ended up in the car a lot more because it really rained in the end, and the clouds all sort of came in, and so where I started off with little vistas where it was very like the hills in the background were sort of faded out almost as in fog, and it looked kind of haunting and nice. I ended up with just walls of grey behind whatever I was shooting, which we'll get to in a minute. But I just want to run you through some of the shots that I took, just talk about them a little bit. We'll start off with the boat. So the boat shot to begin with, I actually shot quite wide and then I've cropped this in. But I went for this crop opposed to a wider crop that showed the docks and everything, just because the docks I found as a distraction from the boats. I really wanted the boat to be the subject, and I'm pushing it over to the side, you get this big wall of green. It kind of gave it the sense of sort of longing to me to get out there on the water, but it was confined. And it kind of encapsulated the day too. It was so close to being a good day, but I was still trapped and confined. So I thought this really summed up the day quite well. The next shot of the Seagull, I would have liked to have snapped this in a little bit faster shutter. Not for the Seagull. I quite like how his wings are blurred. I liked that it's sort of like a cowl sort of covering him. I really liked that part of it, but I would have liked the background to be crisper than it is. It's nice enough, it looks fine on Instagram, but it's not quite where I would want it to be in a print. This wouldn't print very well, but it was a nice exercise and it was a cool photo for online, so I'm happy with it. I think I salvaged a bit. The ducks, oh man, the ducks. These ducks just walked up. They're used to being fed by people, so they just walked up to me. They're easy to take a photo of. I just quite like them, to be honest. There's a confidence to these ducks coming up to me that I quite liked, and I'm glad that I captured it. The boat, the yacht, the ship, I guess you'd call it. It's quite unique. It's a ship. It's a proper sailing ship. I shot it low down. I actually got the camera very close to the water. I was a little bit nervous about it, to be honest, but I had my wrist strap on. It was fine. I couldn't get close enough to get a good reflection. The light is too soft for a good reflection anyway. But I shot this looking up because I just want to give it a bit more of a grander sort of look to it. Next, the pulleys with the ropes. I processed this as black and white because I wanted the texture of the ropes to be the subject. The pulleys themselves they don't offer much in terms of telling a story, but the ropes and how, you know, they're pulled quite taut and one of them's fraying a bit, and just I love the texture on the ropes. I think that looked really good. The next shot, again, same boat looking in the opposite direction. Really, this was just I don't know, I just liked this angle, the perspective of it looked quite good. The Vineyards. These were, with that mist of the rain, I found these really haunting. You know, like there's a ghostly sort of presence to them. The netting, the white netting, and then the rain, the mist from the rain and everything just gave it a real haunted look. I really like that. I really love this chimney. It's actually part of a winery. They've made it a feature on their label and everything of this particular winery. But I just like the idea of this, you know, the house has been demolished and they've just left the fireplace and the chimney for no apparent reason other than to just leave it there. But I thought this on a blue sky doesn't really have any emotion to it, if you know what I mean. Like if this was a beautiful blue sky day, this chimney on its own with blue behind it wouldn't be that interesting. The muted colors, and again the dead vines and the grayed out sky really gives it, again, that sort of haunted quality, which I quite like. The lone post. So this post was hard to focus on. I actually ended up going for a wider shot and then cropping it in post, the post of the post. So in the background of this scene normally are rolling hills. It's actually a really nice viewpoint normally, but in this case, you can't see it. I liked this post because it's just, again, isolated, gives it a haunting look. And I went black and white with this because I felt that the mood of it just in color just didn't really have any emotion. It was just a post in the ground. Going black and white, again, I'm leaning into that gloomy, isolated look. This whole thing really, I think, isolation seems to keep coming up as a theme. It wasn't planned at all. There's just the emotion of the day, the isolation I felt, the gloominess of the weather. It all came through in the photos themselves. I mean, this tree, this last photo that I have here to show really is this tree. I thought the color worked well. You can see a little bit of the hills in the background, but not very much. Just this little stick of a tree on top of a hill, taking on all the weather. It was kind of like me when I was getting out there in the rain. There's something about the loneliness and the isolation that this gray sky and the gloominess, it has a melancholy to it that really spoke to me on the day, because it's kind of, without planning it, reflecting how I was feeling. I mean, these aren't award-winning by any stretch, obviously. They're just me taking snaps, essentially. But the mood of the day really came out, and I'm really glad I went out and captured it for my own personal growth of overcoming that sort of, not fear, but that sort of not believing in myself that I could capture anything worthwhile on a day like that, but also just getting out. Felt so good after all this time being trapped indoors. So if anything you take away from this isn't a lesson in how to take photos in gloomy conditions. It's more about the act of just doing it and getting out there and snapping it. I can't wait to get back into the city and do some photography around the city. Gloomy, rainy, mucky days in a city are the best time to go snap a photo in the city. I feel there's so much more to the story than a nice day. So don't let bad weather deter you from trying to make good photos. And you can really learn a lot about your camera and about yourself, and just improve your skills by being able to shoot in terrible conditions. So don't be scared to do it. Just go out and do it. And I got a few shots which are quite cool that I'm quite happy to throw up on my Instagram. And that might be all they're good for, but it was still practice. It still made me, I think, a better photographer in the long term. I hope you've learned something from this, but you don't have to. I mean, hopefully you've just enjoyed watching it. If you've gone this far through the video, thank you so much. I'm impressed and surprised at the same time. But if you did like it, let me know with a like. That would be awesome. If you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do that as well. I don't know why I'm pointing in this direction, and it's not the right direction, but you know where it is. You can find it. You're smart people. But if you would like to watch more videos, you've got videos here and here which are going to pop up in a minute that you can watch and enjoy. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Get out and shoot. Now that you're allowed out, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Shoot in terrible conditions. Talk to you guys soon. See you later.